friends, welcome. Summer has officially begun. Hopefully we got through this winter and springtime, which wasn't too bad. We've been on hiatus for a little bit, the community friends. We're back, recovering from some surgeries, and we're the Bully Busters. We're getting ready for our summer programs and many other activities. We're on Facebook. This show is produced by the Bully Busters, Debbie and Laurie. Check us out on Facebook. Just because the school year has ended, it doesn't mean the bullying has ended, unfortunately. Just pay attention to what your kids are saying or seeing as they go to these camps and programs. It happens there, unfortunately. So just listen to your child when they're coming home and paying attention. And like I was brought up, kindness is magical, and we can do it. We can do it. Just remind your kids daily, kindness is magical, and listen to them. With that, we have some guests coming on from a partner of ours with the Bully Busters for a number of years. Is from Reliance House. We have Carrie Dyer and Dave, and welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
So I know we just recently changed your name to Reliance Health. Can we talk a little bit about that? And been Reliance House for going on 40 years, and it's for some folks out there. I know you probably heard this. It's not actually a house. Well, you have many of them. So Dave, you've been with them for going on how many years?
I was hired by John Morosky, who started what was then called the Leisure Center in 1978.
Yep.
I was the only employee in a drop-in center in the Shannon building in the bad old days. And getting to the Reliance House, Reliance Health thing, we have talked for at least 20 years about the fact that this agency has been very poorly served by the name Reliance House. We are not a house.
Yeah.
We're a fairly complex series of services ranging from clinical services to housing services to vocational support systems to day activity support systems to substance abuse programs and on and on and on and on and on. So the house has served us poorly for years.
Yes.
And we finally, just recently, decided to change the name to Reliance Health.
Okay.
Long overdue.
Mm-hmm. So going on 40 plus, almost 40 years, right?
It'll be 40 years for me in 2 years.
No plus.
Yeah.
And the agency itself, yeah.
Yeah, and when I started, of course, I was the only employee. And we're just shy of 300 employees today.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. You're one of the top employees in the Norwich area.
We're a large employer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks don't realize that, and your employees give a lot back. You're out there in the community, which a number of your staff members have painted a number of our buddy benches too, which is at United Community Family Services. So I've seen some of that stuff. So
we have a lot to offer this community,
mm-hmm.
and the community will be seeing more and more of us,
mm-hmm.
and we'll be reaching out in more and more ways to support positive community efforts.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much within our capacity,
mm-hmm.
and we see it as our commitment to the community.
Yeah, and that's usually a misnomer for a lot of nonprofits out there, not just yours, that you guys stay behind closed doors, and I know that's not the case. There's so much.
To a large extent, to an extent larger than was good for us or the community, we have been kind of a secret in this community.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to try and change that.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of that has to do with us being called a house, so people think that we're small, and we sort of hid behind that a little because it was easier to focus internally to say, what are we doing, what do we do well, what can we continue to do well. But the more experiences we have connecting with the community and seeing how we interrelate, it made more sense we get involved with the Chamber of Commerce or with the leadership academies that are happening out in the community. It just makes more sense for us to say we're enhancing health not just for the people we serve, but for our general community.
Yeah. And you guys have a big part in First Fridays every year.
Absolutely.
Every month.
Every month.
Downtown Norwich. You guys have been famous for that, I know, for a number of years, the artwork that comes out of there. So
Thank you. That's been a lot of fun because
Yeah.
it's open to anyone. So it could be someone that we serve that wants to show their artwork. It could be a staff person that wants to show their artwork. or someone in the community who's walked into the gallery and said, I have artwork and I've never done this before and I'd like to give it a try. So it's free and it's a great way to have new people come through the door.
Yeah.
It has, this whole First Fridays thing has astounded me. The number of people in our community and beyond who are creating magical art and who are so grateful to have a place to show their art who've never done it before.
Sure.
And there is wonderful art out
Oh,
there.
yes. Oh, absolutely.
And just magnificently creative people who just do it for their own satisfaction and have never shown it.
Yeah.
It's quite remarkable.
And you're giving them opportunity, and it's so a way to express themselves. That's why I always get frustrated when that's one of the things they cut in the schools is the arts and the music, and which is so important to kids out there. It's not just the reading, writing, and arithmetic, which is important, but the arts and the music play a big part in kids' lives and people's lives. And I've gone by and I've gone to a number of the shows down there. It's phenomenal stuff. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So what are some of your goals now you've changed the name? So what are some of your future goals that you would like to do besides, I know you want to get more out in the community, and are there some other plans out there in the works?
There are a number of things that, this year in particular, this is the 40th year of our operation. And we want to call attention to and celebrate the fact that we've been in this community for 40 years, the fact that we're changing our name to Reliance Health, and we want to announce to the community and celebrate the fact that we have opened an outpatient services clinic, so medical services are now available at Reliance Health.
And where's that located, the outpatient medical? Is it?
Downtown at it's a Cliff Street office.
Okay,
2 Cliff Street.
okay.
For people who've been around a long time, the old Sears building.
Yep.
And we want to celebrate the fact that were found last fall by Fox News and the Hartford Courant after an extensive survey of 1,000 or more companies in this state. We are, in terms of staff satisfaction, the #1 workplace, mid-sized workplace in the state of Connecticut.
That's wonderful. When you got that notice, that must have meant a lot to the two of you.
Absolutely.
Very exciting.
Because that had
it's-
to come from your staff, from what I understand. They had to fill out the surveys and nominate you, and being from the nonprofit world, and a lot of your staff, they're not in it for the money. I know that because what you guys do. So to come from your staff, that's got to mean a lot.
Yeah.
It does.
We've got a lot to celebrate. And we're very proud of where we are, and we want to become more active in and better leaders in this community in terms of helping this community move towards community health.
So what type of services will you offer at the clinic? Is this like?
The outpatient services program will have or has one-on-one therapy, it'll have individual therapy, group therapy, and we have medication management as well with an APRN.
Oh, that's great.
So that's brand new, very exciting. We've
Yeah.
been wanting to do it for years.
Yeah, and it's needed.
It is
It's
needed.
more and more so and stuff in the community, so that's wonderful.
And it's nice to have choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it like in a day in the life with you two guys, with Reliance House? What's,
Oh, that's a funny question.
It's
yeah.
fun.
Well, for those folks that don't really know what Reliance House does on a given day.
I would say this. I mean, it's not that there aren't challenges, and there are, and they're not all happy challenges, but for sure we have fun. Most of the time, most days, we have fun. And apparently our staff are feeling satisfied and having fun. We recognize one thing.
This is not easy work that you do, and I know that.
Well, it's not hard either.
Yeah.
No.
It's not hard either if you know how to find the magic in every individual. And it's not hard to do. We recognize that the only thing we really have to offer are relationships with the people we serve. And as those relationships become richer and become more trusting, and as they build, there's just tremendous value there and tremendous satisfaction for staff to watch growth, to grow personally.
And it's beyond just the individuals we serve. So we're encouraged to get to know people and find out what that spark is within them. What is it that really drives a person? We're not reading a chart and reading a diagnosis and basing our relationships on that. It's based on who is that person as an individual, and then how do I help you get to the goal that you've set for yourself. But we do that with each other, which makes it fun. We do that with the contractors that we work with. And the better relationship we have with folks and the better we know people, the more interaction and the more synergy we'll all have.
Yeah, and I hear you, because I find that with our Bully Buster kids and stuff, a lot of kids, they just want to be listened to. They just want to be heard, and that I heard what they said. That I'm not necessarily going to agree with them, but I at least heard them. Like when they come in, they say, oh yeah, we have that for you. Well, you heard us. Yes, we did. But now this is what you're going to do. So, and a lot of it's just the communication. They want to be heard. Listen to it. Don't necessarily going to agree with them, but at least you're hearing them. And it's important.
Yeah.
And I think that's where most people want to just be heard and listened to.
Find the good, build on it,
Yep.
respect each other, build trust, and life starts to work pretty well.
Yeah.
For employees, for the people we serve, and you start to have fun.
Yeah. And now you're not just the Norwich area.
Correct. We actually serve from the top of Eastern Connecticut all the way down through to New London, depending on which contract. We have a number of different contracts with the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. So generally, we're in Norwich, but we expand out. We have residential programs that are Basra, Montville, Canterbury, sort of all throughout. But the central location is in Norwich.
And you work with all ages, right, for the most part?
18 and over.
18 and
We
over.
work with adults.
Yeah. And you help with the family aspect of it too.
Sure.
Yeah, you know. So I can see where the house part came into, because you're trying to manage that household and somewhat. I can see where the name the house part came into a little play, but so the name, who came up with the new name change? Was it a group effort or?
Oh,
It was a
it
long.
was a 20-year process of coming up with laughable and horrendous possibilities along the way, and we finally settled on the simplest of all suggestions, which is the name Reliance Health. We kept the Reliance, but some folks were very unhappy with that.
Yeah.
But the reality is we all rely on each other in some way, shape, or form. So the idea
that
of
does make
keeping
sense.
that and not straying too far. So if our logo stays the same, that we're still recognizable, the 40-year history comes along with us. But the idea of health and what our mission is to enhance health through mental wellness, it ties, it's that full circle of tying it all together.
Sure. Now I know you have you're a part of the creative arts community too in Norwich. You have a
Yes.
part in some of the arts that's slowly and somewhat coming alive in Norwich. So I
Correct.
see that piece too.
That's been a lot of fun, and that came about through First Fridays, which I have no artistic background, but just an interest in helping the agency be a part of our community. And I saw the excitement that artists brought to First Fridays in the gallery. So I was asked to go to the Norwich Creates meetings, and we had a leadership academy who created a project that was a mural downtown.